You might have seen one before without even realizing what it was doing. A thin snake suddenly slips through the grass, disappears underneath a flower pot, or moves across your driveway before vanishing into a bush. And if your first reaction is to grab a shovel, a stick, or anything else you can use to make it disappear, you're not alone. A lot of people see a snake in their yard and immediately assume it's dangerous. But here's the strange part. That little snake you were about to chase away may actually be one of the most useful animals living around your home. This is the garter snake, and despite its intimidating appearance, most garter snakes are harmless to people and spend much of their time doing something incredibly useful, hunting the small creatures that can become a problem in your yard. They aren't sitting around waiting to attack you. They aren't secretly stalking your pets. They're usually trying to avoid you while searching through grass, leaves, gardens, and damp areas for their next meal. And what they eat is where things get interesting. Garter snakes are opportunistic predators. Their diet can include earthworms, slugs, insects, small amphibians, and other small animals, depending on the species and what is available in their environment. That means the snake moving quietly through your garden may be helping keep certain populations under control without you doing anything at all. Think about what happens when your garden has too many slugs. They come out when conditions are damp, crawl across leaves, and start feeding on plants. A few might not seem like a big deal, but when their numbers increase, they can become a real nuisance for gardeners. Now imagine having a predator already living nearby that considers many of these small creatures food. That predator doesn't need a spray bottle, it doesn't need a pesticide, it doesn't need you to put down a trap. It simply hunts. And that is one of the most interesting things about garter snakes. They are part of a much larger system that most people barely notice. Your backyard might look quiet and simple from above, but underneath the grass and inside the soil, there is an entire food web operating constantly. Small insects feed on plants, worms and other invertebrates move through the soil, slugs search for food after dark, frogs and other small animals hunt insects, birds search through the vegetation, and predators like garter snakes move through all of it, looking for opportunities. Remove one part of that system and the balance can change. Now, that doesn't mean every garter snake is going to completely eliminate every pest in your yard. It won't. Nature doesn't work like a perfect pest control service. A snake isn't going to patrol your garden on a schedule and guarantee that you'll never see a slug again. But that isn't the point. The point is that the snake has a role. And sometimes the animals we consider unwanted are actually performing jobs we didn't realize needed to be done. Garter snakes are especially interesting because they're widespread and adaptable. Different species occur across large parts of North America, and they can live in surprisingly different environments. Depending on the species, you may find them around gardens, fields, forests, wetlands, parks, suburban neighborhoods, and even areas surprisingly close to human homes. They don't necessarily need a huge wilderness area to survive. A yard with vegetation, shelter, moisture, and a source of prey can sometimes provide exactly the kind of environment they need. And that brings us to one of the biggest misunderstandings about seeing a snake near your house. People often assume that if a snake is in the yard, it must be trying to get into the house. Usually, that's not what is happening. The snake is following food, shelter, temperature, or moisture. If your yard has insects, worms, slugs, frogs, or other small prey, it can become attractive to predators. The snake isn't necessarily interested in your bedroom, your kitchen, or your living room. It is interested in whatever happens to be crawling around outside. In fact, if you leave it alone, there's a good chance it will eventually continue on its way. And there's another reason you shouldn't automatically panic when you see one. Garter snakes are generally more interested in escaping than confronting a person. When threatened, a garter snake may freeze, try to flee, hide underneath vegetation, or release a strong-smelling substance as a defense. Some may also flatten their bodies, strike defensively, or make rapid movements when they feel trapped. But there's an important difference between an animal defending itself and an animal actively trying to attack you.
If you corner a wild animal and prevent it from escaping, you shouldn't be surprised when it becomes defensive. The safest approach is usually the simplest one. Give it space. Let it find an escape route. And don't try to pick it up just because you want a closer look. Even a harmless snake can bite if it feels threatened, and while a garter snake bite is generally not considered medically dangerous for most people, there is absolutely no reason to put your hands near a wild animal's mouth. You don't need to touch it, you don't need to chase it, and you definitely don't need to kill it. There's also something fascinating about the way garter snakes interact with the seasons. During warmer months, they become much more active. You may see them moving through vegetation, basking in sunlight, or searching for prey. Their activity is closely connected to temperature because, like other reptiles, they depend on external heat to regulate their body temperature. This is why you may suddenly notice snakes in places where you never saw them before. It doesn't necessarily mean your yard has suddenly become infested with snakes. You may simply be seeing them during a period when they're more active. On a cool morning, a snake may sit in a sunny location to warm itself. Later, when its body temperature rises, it may move into vegetation or shaded areas to hunt. From our perspective, it might look like the snake is doing absolutely nothing, but biologically, it's managing one of the most important things in its life: temperature. And while it's doing that, it may also be keeping an eye out for prey. This is where your garden can become a surprisingly important part of the story. A garden isn't just a collection of plants, it's an ecosystem. The moment you put soil, plants, water, mulch, flowers, and vegetation in one place, you create habitats for dozens or even hundreds of small organisms. Some are beneficial, some are neutral, some can damage plants. And predators arrive because prey arrives. That includes spiders, birds, frogs, lizards, and snakes. So when you see a garter snake moving through your garden, you're looking at one small part of a much larger biological system. And this is also why using chemicals to solve every problem can sometimes create unexpected consequences. When people see an insect they don't like, the instinct can be to eliminate it immediately. Then another insect appears, so they eliminate that one too. Eventually, a yard can become heavily managed in an attempt to remove anything that looks unfamiliar.
But nature doesn't separate everything into good animals and bad animals. A creature that looks unpleasant to us can still provide food for something else. A spider catches insects. A bird eats insects and worms. A frog eats insects. A snake eats various small animals. And all of these relationships overlap. The goal isn't to make your yard completely free of wildlife. That's almost impossible. The goal is to understand what is actually living there. And garter snakes are a perfect example of why that matters. There's another reason people sometimes misunderstand them: their appearance. Garter snakes can have striking patterns. Many have long stripes running along their bodies, sometimes combined with darker colors and intricate markings. Depending on the species, they can look completely different from one another. To someone who isn't familiar with snakes, those patterns can immediately trigger the thought, "Is that dangerous?" And that's a reasonable reaction. You should never handle an unknown snake just because you think it might be harmless. Identification matters. There are many different snake species, and some regions have venomous species that can look superficially similar to harmless ones. So the rule should never be, "Every snake in my yard is safe." The better rule is, "I don't need to touch any snake to stay safe." Keep your distance. Keep children and pets away. And if you aren't certain what species you're looking at, don't handle it. That's especially important because a wildlife-friendly approach doesn't mean being careless. You can respect wildlife while still respecting your own safety. Now here's something many people don't realize. A healthy yard doesn't necessarily need to be completely clean. In fact, a yard that is too perfectly managed can provide fewer places for wildlife to live. Constantly removing every leaf, every fallen branch, every patch of vegetation, and every piece of natural debris can eliminate shelter for the small animals that form the foundation of the food web. Garter snakes can use vegetation, rocks, logs, holes, and other structures as shelter. They may hide underneath objects during parts of the day and emerge when conditions are right.
So if you want fewer encounters with snakes around areas where people walk, one practical approach is not necessarily to kill the snake. Instead, reduce the things that attract prey close to the places where you don't want wildlife. Keep areas around doors and frequently used pathways clear. Seal obvious openings in buildings. Store materials neatly. Manage excessive moisture, and keep vegetation from becoming excessively dense right next to your home. These steps can reduce unwanted encounters while allowing wildlife to continue living elsewhere in the yard, because that's really the goal: coexistence. You don't need to turn your backyard into a wilderness reserve. You just need to recognize that you are sharing the space with other living things, and sometimes those animals are doing work that benefits you. There is also something almost poetic about how little attention these snakes receive. A person might spend hundreds of dollars trying to protect a garden from pests, while a predator that naturally hunts some of those same creatures is moving quietly through the grass for free. No advertisements, no subscription, no maintenance contract. Just a snake following its instincts. And the more you understand this, the more interesting your backyard becomes. That ordinary patch of grass isn't empty. It's full of movement. Worms are changing the soil. Insects are pollinating flowers or feeding on plants. Spiders are building webs. Birds are searching for food. Frogs are hunting around damp areas. And snakes are moving through the vegetation looking for their next meal. Most of this happens without you ever noticing. That's what makes wildlife so fascinating. The ecosystem doesn't stop just because humans aren't watching. And garter snakes are one of the animals quietly participating in that system. Of course, there are situations where you may genuinely need professional help. If a snake is inside your home, trapped somewhere, repeatedly appearing in a dangerous location, or you simply cannot identify it and are uncomfortable being near it, don't try to solve the problem by grabbing it. Contact a local wildlife professional who can identify the animal and safely relocate it when appropriate. And if you live somewhere with venomous snakes, learn the species that are actually present in your area. Knowing what you're looking at is far more useful than assuming every snake is dangerous, because fear often comes from unfamiliarity. The more you learn about an animal, the less mysterious it becomes. And that brings us back to the garter snake in your yard. The next time you see one sliding through the grass, don't immediately think, "How do I get rid of it?" Pause for a second. Look from a safe distance. Notice where it's going. Maybe it's heading toward a damp patch. Maybe it's disappearing beneath a plant. Maybe it's hunting through the grass. Maybe it simply wants to get away from you as quickly as possible. That little snake isn't necessarily invading your yard. It may already be part of the reason your yard functions the way it does. And perhaps the most interesting lesson isn't really about snakes at all. It's about how easily we label something as a problem simply because we don't understand its role. A snake can look frightening. A spider can look disgusting. A wasp can look aggressive. A beetle can look like a pest. But nature doesn't design every creature around human preferences. Every species has its own role, its own behavior, and its own place in an ecosystem. And once you start looking at your backyard through that lens, you stop seeing random creatures. You start seeing relationships. You start seeing predators and prey, shelter and food, competition and cooperation. A living system operating right outside your window. So if you encounter a garter snake in your yard, don't rush to kill it simply because it's a snake. Give it space. Keep your distance. Make sure you know what you're dealing with. And remember that the animal you're trying to remove may be quietly helping control some of the creatures you actually don't want around. It isn't your pet. It isn't your pest control employee. It's a wild animal doing what wild animals have been doing for millions of years. Hunting, hiding, moving, surviving, and quietly playing its part. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your yard isn't to remove everything you don't recognize. Sometimes it's simply to leave the right animals alone.